What sort of crazy stuff have you seen? Because I had a guy on a couple of years ago. I don't know if you saw the podcast interview, but he did what was considered, I think, dancing bear parties. I don't know if that's still used today. Is that something that you're familiar with?
Yeah, used I'm very familiar with a dancing bear.
What is a
Um,
dancing bear? If you can explain it to our viewers.
so back in the day, the dancing bear, from my knowledge, and people can correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't dive too deep into the dancing bear, but basically, porn meets strippers, and the strippers are covered in their face for obvious reasons, with whatever silly mask it is,
Hmm.
and then there's just a line of girls just fucking each and every one of them.
Hmm.
I mean, I've been in situations where at bachelorette parties, um, there's two of us or maybe three of us that go in to do a private party, and I'll name this specific time where we were all police officers. We went in and you know we role played, and like we just had our flashlights out. We had the
Hmm.
siren music, um, handcuffs out. All the girls they were just loving it, and so towards the end of the gig, they wanted to go in the private room to do lap dances, and
Hmm.
so all three entertainers, went in to give private dances in a separate room to three different girls. And I remember hearing one of the girls who got a lap dance was talking about her husband, and that they've been married and they have kids. And so she got a private lap dance, no big deal. It's just a lap dance. Um, it's just more intimate, away from the other girls. Well, that and one thing led to another, and it wasn't me. It was more. I am 33 years old now, and in my early 20s, I was a lot more wilder than I am now. I'm more tamed. Um, so with the what happened, basically the bride um, got hot and heavy with the other two dancers and ended up having sex with them. And well, I was doing the
The
lap
bride to
dance with the other
be.
girls. Well, I'm sorry, not the bride, the girl who was married.
Okay, so the woman that was married ended up sleeping with two of your colleagues.
Yes, and the
Interesting.
bride was there, but she wasn't. I mean, she was basically halfway. Oh, halfway
Halfway
into.
is what, like in her mouth, or I mean, you can
Um,
use a little bit of detail on YouTube as
yeah,
long as it's not
she
too
was
explicit.
giving handies
Handies.
to the
Okay, got it.
guys, but
All right.
she didn't have sex with them.
So
From the last podcast, and I did listen to was it Mike,
yeah,
the smell stripper? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I listened to his podcast. And
So so
go
how
ahead.
common is that in your experience? Because I mean, like I always get challenged that, oh, that's not that common. It's okay if women go to bachelorette parties. Like, how common were indiscretions and women stepping out on a husband, or maybe even like at a bachelorette party, and it was the bride to be the next day or something like that. Like, how often did that happen in your experience?
I will second Mike on this, and from my experience, it's all, it comes down to the influence of the friends, man. um, they encourage the bride to make some bad decisions if she's not surrounded with you know level-headed friends. But it's usually 80% of the time, man. They're somebody, or just there's a lot of people that are just wanting to escape their life in a different state, and it's usually bachelorette parties from a different state that come to my home state,
Hmm.
or I'll travel and they're from another state, and they think it's okay because they're far away from home to
They're
mess
gone for
around
the
and want.
weekend. They went for a long drive. They hopped on a flight. They're gone for 2, 3 days, and they figured, what happens in Nashville, what happens in Vegas, that stays in Vegas, sort of thing, right?
Yeah,
Okay, they got their girlfriends egging them on. Now, you said 80%, like it's 80% of the time that you'll see this happen?
yeah.
Eighty
um you
percent
know
of the time. Wow.
you know I got red pilled um later in my stripping career because I didn't really see. I noticed a lot of issues, but I just didn't. The frying pan didn't hit my head until later,
Mhm.
um, after a 2-year relationship that I was in, especially. But yeah, usually 80%, man. And when I do the performances at an actual show, you see it constantly. You see in each group of bachelorette parties, and we'll get maybe like on a busy day, um, 20 plus groups or even 50 bachelorette party groups packed in that venue. And yeah, I mean, the guys are usually going home with somebody, or they go out with them,
Mhm.
and just entertaining the girls. Just they invite us too. They can go out with them out in downtown. And as somebody who notices all this constantly, it just numbs you as somebody who as a man who sees all this. It's just what it is, and that's part of the
Mhm.
red pill. Is you get numbed, but you just realize, okay, this is how life actually works.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here and pin down below in the top comment. You'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.